What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. Psycho killer! Qu'est-ce que c'est? No. You were really feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we cram them all on the screen at the same time again, so just believe me. They're all here, and they're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. As long as they don't offer me, like, human flesh, which they did last time, didn't they? Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Wraith seems like the biggest long shot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. And heaven knows they won't do any better than that. No, Trapper has the long shot. What? Okay. Hopefully I can remember moderately what their voices are. I'm sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare. So tonight, none of that. I'm not really hungry anyway, so I say we just do a simple salad or something. The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo is gross. I'm fine with just lettuce. It doesn't have to be fancy. Not iceberg, though. It has no nutritional value. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake. That's on all of us. I agree. I don't want to have just fucking lettuce. Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day for sure. But how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there saying nothing. Nothing is not an option. I want to get excited about the hatch. It was crazy. There was a hatch, and we went down, and there was all this weird culty stuff. We already know he's a weirdo. Did you do any cult stuff? Sacrifice anyone? Open a portal to another dimension? Well, no, but look, I'm up for most of that except for the sacrificing. Boring. Wraith looks mortified. I don't fucking care, Wraith. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. Oh, wait. No, sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica, not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetite. Don't you mean bone? No. I suppose it's bony appetit. No, almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. How? Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, take your napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? I'm going to thank them. Your top-notch service is much appreciated. Everyone, if you would be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen. Something that will change everything. You can go willingly or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. I actually think I have an idea of what it's going to be. I'm not going to tell you until it happens. And I'll tell you what I thought it was. But I was looking at the achievements, which was stupid. After I'd only played an hour of this. Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. I was gonna say, where's Huntress? Fire illuminates the soul. She hasn't talked in so long. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. The smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes, because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving toward the fire pit, if only to get away from Wraith's complaining. I want to go back out with Huntress. It's been a while. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think? Are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. I did not say that with the right tone, but I'm not saying it again. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Just give us a moment to stare at everybody. Oh, cool. And now everyone's looking at you. So, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades? Boggle? Fucking boggle. My dad's friend's cottage we always went to every summer had boggle because it had all old people things. Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoots lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Liar you are. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. Fuck. Now you can't tell. There we go. I know the fire is right here, but maybe if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Katie was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. Fine, I'll tell a story. Oh, sure, I'm game to tell a story. That was a completely different attitude than I was expecting. I hope it's a mystery. Hi, Hunka. Okay. So what type of story do you want to tell? Well, I can't tell you a mystery, Trickster. I'm going to tell you an adventure story. All right. You like your Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies? Yes. How about some adventure? Now we're talking. It's not my favorite, but I respect your choice and will nod politely. You don't have to say that, Wraith. Just nod politely. Okay, ready? Here goes. I really like to go fishing. Wah, wah. Solid hobby, great foundation for a story for sure. You pause. Everyone is waiting with bated breath. No fun. Pun intended. No fun. Oh, wait, that's it? Not much of a story? Barely even a thought? My pun was better than that story. Are you sure that's all you have to say? Oh my god, no, you were kidding. No, I was just kidding. That was a terrible story. So what type of story do you want to tell? I guess it's going to be personal? I'll get a little personal now, if that's okay. These types of tales are the best, and often the most sad. I know that I keep messing up some of these words, and I am not a professional voice actor. We are not replaying the lines. No one has time for that. It's a bit of a love story. Is it about two strong hunters who meet when they both try to bludgeon the same wily Wolverine? Or about a deranged killer who makes the only woman who ever believed in him witness a display of shocking violence? Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was hosting, and she'd been dragged there by some friends. Oh. They couldn't have been more different. And yet, as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They sound insufferable. She was negging him. They were married within 2 months. They really sound insufferable. Bit soon to know if you can trust someone, don't you think? I agree, Trapper. It's the first smart thing you've said the whole time. It's so sweet. Exactly. I've learned a lot of love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to get acquainted with someone. Love could spark from a look across a campfire. Now you've got their attention. Each killer is furiously attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. It's quite alarming, actually. Okay, so I will tell you. I think I get to eliminate somebody. It's what it sounded like from the achievements. And if the killers actually know this would explain why they're trying to attract my attention. I don't know. Like, obviously, I would eliminate Trapper first. But then I don't know who I would eliminate. Anyway. Except for Trickster, who has his headphones in and is loudly playing his own music to drown you out. Okay, that was not a very good story. It was not. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. It was. It wasn't a story. Sorry, but this narrator keeps it real. We can't just end... Excuse me, I got the hiccups. We can't just end there. So who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. Huntress! Although now I have to speak her voice. Huntress, you seem raring to go. Let's hear from you. Sure thing. My neck of the woods isn't wanting for horrifying mythology. Yes! Mother once told me a story of a young man who was traveling back home after the war. Which war? Doesn't matter. I just wanted some backstory details to paint a picture. I'll paint a picture if you want. Why? Oh, okay. The man was lost and running out of food rations. He stopped to rest for the night underneath a majestic birch tree. That's when he saw the woman. Naked, skin glistening in the twilight glow. Hot. I'm invested. They sang a haunting melody as they made their way downhill towards the inviting lake. Enchanted by the music, the young man followed the parade of beautiful women until they stopped in a clearing next to the water. They turned to him and smiled. One woman with long red hair stepped forward and reached for his hand. The others began to play music. Flutes, lutes, tambourines. The melody was intoxicating. The man's feet began to move beneath him. He was dancing, moved by the magical music of these mysterious women. Twilight darkened into night and the man grew weary. But when he tried to still his moving feet, he found he could not. Help! I can't stop dancing, he cried to the nearest woman, a slender woman with green hair. She drew near to him and he saw her features distort into something horrific. She was bloated, an eye hanging from one socket, skin the color of algae, a rusalka, her true self. You'll never stop dancing, she screeched at him. My sisters and I were drowned in this lake by men of your regiment. Consider this your punishment. The man cried out, but it wasn't me. Someone must pay, the rusalka said, her voice filled with briny malice. And so the man danced and danced until his bones broke and his heart gave out. The dance of death. A silent beat as everyone takes in this macabre ending. But it's not all bad. Rusalkas are also fertility goddesses. If a lady had stumbled across them, she would have been blessed with a fruitful womb and probably some candy for the road. Damn, does she really think that's a happy ending? I want what Huntress is having. How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Okay, we're just gonna have like fucking media discourse. Tell me, Katie, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Okay, this is gonna be a stupid answer. I know it's not gonna be up there. Snow White 2 or Cinderella 2? I think it was Cinderella 2. Just, that was the moment in my childhood where I was just like, well, that was fucking terrible. You tell me your answer. What sequel would you delete from existence? And now we can see what options they're going to actually give us. Oh, okay, fine. They aren't going to give us options. Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk get in the way of a romantic twilight moment. Dwight, I'm going to need you to shut your yap trap. You know we have to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen. Remember they try to kill each other? Okay. You have fun tonight and try not to, wink wink, end up dead. Why did you say the words wink wink out loud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking. Not since the accident. You do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit. She doesn't really belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear someone trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in. What do you say we take this talk back to the hot tub so I can soak this bod while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Absolutely not. Please, enough talk of burns, things that are lit or getting blazed. No, we're going to talk about getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. On those spindly legs? You'd probably tire before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded Katie is after, they should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. She's got excellent legs. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. I don't play Dead by Daylight very much because I'm awful at it. I only play with my friends, and I always pick Huntress, and she is so slow! And I can't hit anybody with her throwing axe. It's my own choice, and it's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that corporations can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novella printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on, or is it just me? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us maybe so we could all move on with our lives or, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time of Murderer's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either, but with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, because we're back to excluding Trickster because, that guy. Okay, we're going with Huntress because it's been a while since we had a date with her. And I'm never picking Trapper. Huntress? I had the feeling you'd pick me. You've got good taste. And I don't just say that because I'm considering eating you. Huntress licks her lips as she eyes you up and down. You've never felt like a literal piece of meat this much in your life before. What have you gotten yourself into? Let's go over to the bar. I'm going to make you into something special.